so this is kind of controversial, but I think, like, culturally, or I don't know what, but I think I identify as a trans gay boy for real. Think about it. I think I like get along really well with gay men, gay boys. Like, I'm like, I wouldn't really say I'm a man. I'd say more like a trans gay boy. Is that how they view women? I don't know. I don't know how women are. I don't know what to do. Anyway, like, I was just thinking, I was in my house and I was thinking about it. I was like, I got along with my gay best friend, like, more than anyone. We had a good time together. And I'm like, I get along really well with him. Like, I would be married to him. And what does married mean? You just go along in life together? Have children? Anyway, but he's gay, right? So that would never work. So my quest for love will never work out. I don't know. But I was thinking about this. I was like, I get along with gay people so well. Like, why is that? It's like, they're just so cheerful and so jovial. Like, they just get stuff. They get life on, like, a way that's, like, most people are just so somber and, like, ugly about. I heard that today. Oh my gosh. 5-year-old. She told me that the noise I was making, I was interrupting the TV, and it was ugly. I was like, well, aren't you expressive? But I was like, so expressive for 5. She's just like, it's ugly, and she's very upset. So I just feel like people make the world kind of ugly sometimes with their tones and, like, demands. Like, gay people are just kind of, like, jovial and friendly. And I was thinking, maybe it's because they've given up on the idea that they're going to make it to heaven. Like, maybe they grew up in a really Christian culture, like everybody did in the 50s, right? Like, really Christian, like, overwhelmingly anti-gay culture. And they were gay. And so they realized they're going to heaven. Most of their family hates them. They either get really depressed, or when they get out of it, they realize life's too short. If I'm going to hell anyway, I'm going to hell in a handbasket. I'm going to be going out in style. I'm going to at least have fun. I'm going to hell. I might as well have a good time while I'm here. And they've unknowingly stumbled upon one of the fruits of the kingdom of heaven by not being a respecter of persons anymore. Now they like have a fruit of the kingdom of heaven. They're jovial. They're happy. You can see the light of Christ in their eyes, right? How can that be? They're committing sins. You're committing sins. How could it be that you have the light of Christ in your eyes that you pretend that you have, that you sometimes have and sometimes don't, just like any of us? I don't know. I'm just saying stuff. I'm just saying, like, what? How would anybody think that? That a sinner, how could a sinner possibly have the light of Christ in his eyes, right? It's so unacceptable. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's like, oh, no wonder I get along better with gay boys. They have the light of Christ. Huh. Some do, some don't. Just like anybody. Just like any of us. Jeez. So judgmental. Gosh. Why did it get this way? How did it get this way? Oh God, how did it get this way? It just is this way. No, it just is. Just deal with it. Just deal with it. It's not about the mammon anyway, is it? It's about the relationships, the doings. So who cares if you know chemistry or if you just wash the dishes and make the bread? Like, who cares? It's just what you want to be doing, right? And it's just like what you do with your time here. I think that's what Ecclesiastes points to. Is it's so pointless. Day after day, day after day, day after day, death after death. Generation pass, generation come, generation pass, generation come, generation pass. And like the old man in the city like saved a whole group. The whole city was saved by this man, and then he was soon forgotten, and the city went back. Like, I don't know, maybe the city didn't go back to corruption, but I think it did. I think he saved the city by talking. You know, he's talking. Talking can move mountains. Talking can move anything. Talking is the thing we do. Talking is the important influence thing. It's how we convey a message and decide what we're going to do next based on what the others want. We have a complex way. The deer do it too, but they just don't have the words they don't have the imagination to make the words for the creativity, the understanding. I don't think they can imagine. Imagination is kind of a human game. So we imagine, the imaginations of our hearts, we imagine that we have achieved the pinnacle of Christianity and our brother over there is gay, so they're going to hell. And then they believe it because they believe our words. They put trust in the arm of flesh, but then they stop believing it at some point because they realize it's idiotic. But why don't they just live their life? And then they stumble upon the fruits of the kingdom of heaven, and then they realize the Christians, those so-called Christians, didn't know what they were talking about anyway. Turns out they didn't have the light of Christ, and now they're going to call it something else. But a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. You can see Christ in a lot of places. So anyway, 50 years passed. All my homies are old as time. I don't even have hair on my behind. What if we just live forever, just working it out, day after day, time after time in the sun, the generations pass and go. It's all vanity. It's all vexation of spirit. It all means nothing. Who cares? Who cares if you're doing violin or piano? Who cares if you're doing car racing or bricklaying? Who cares what you do? It's just how you act. It's how you treat your fellow man. It's the Jesus stuff. It's the fruits of the kingdom of heaven. Are you going to have the fruits of the kingdom of heaven or not? That's the whole thing. What kind of mammon do you have? It doesn't matter. You can have a car or a horse, but you have the fruits of the kingdom of heaven or not. Like, do the car if you want, but not at the expense of the fruits of the kingdom of heaven. And some of our technology might be at the expense of the fruits of the kingdom of heaven. It's like electricity is kind of raping the planet in this gross way. I don't know about raping. We are literally raping the planet if you consider the creatures of the planet part of the planet, right? We do that and we do horrific things to our fellow creatures on this planet. But we could stop doing that. See, our lifestyle might not be conducive to. I mean, we need to change some stuff to the Christ-like way. We need to change stuff for our lifestyle so we can become Christ-like. And everyone can do it. It's not unattainable. You just have to care about something as much as you care about yourself. Literally the first commandment. Do you even have that one? The first commandment. No, that's the second commandment. The first commandment. Love God above all others. The second commandment. Love your neighbor as yourself. On this hangs all the law and the prophets. On this hangs everything. Just does your action fit within this realm? Can you judge it against this metric? Are you loving your neighbors as yourself? Are you loving a God above all others? And I think it would really help if we could define God. I think it's more than just a man in a white robe. I think it could mean the consciousness of the planet. Could mean I am consciousness expression. It could mean consciousness in general, collectively. It could be the collective unconsciousness. It could mean consciousness in general. It could mean a separate entity that is conscious, that is aware of consciousness rules, that is trying to teach us also. It could be some sort of father consciousness figure that had babies and we're literal consciousness babies, and he's now teaching us here in our consciousness cocoon, in the safe space, so we can learn how not to be jerks when we go out into the real world after we die, we graduate into adulthood. Congratulations, now you're an adult. You know how not to be. Don't be jerks like that. Okay. Or is it some kind of ancient AI simulation? And we've like made an AI in an AI. I've heard that one. I mean, there's lots of different ideas, but I think the idea of God typically revolves around the idea of consciousness. And like, do we continue existing after we die as like consciousness of myself, an individuality, an individual consciousness expression? Or are my memories somehow remembered in a unique way? I think all these questions like revolve around God. But like, I don't know. I think we have to define God. And it's almost like define the undefinable. Is it the undefinable of the ancient Chinese traditions or the Oriental tradition, the Asian traditions, the meditated upon like consciousness, the God, the indescribable, because really is consciousness is a word we use, but it's really indescribable what it is and the wacky things that it does. And like, I mean, it's describable, but once you describe it and pin it down, like it shifts for the next person. It makes it indescribable. It makes it wrong for the next person. It's like if I describe it and you believe that description, it's wrong for you and you will be led astray. You will be forever looking at what I said instead of seeing your own thing. So it is the indescribable because of that. Like I can describe it, but as soon as I describe it, you immediately misunderstand it. So it's like, I can point at it. I'll point at it. Do the headless experiments. Pointing here. That's a great one. That's a simple one. There's better ones. I like the paper bag one a lot. It's like good experiments. Go do them. Understand consciousness, and I am. And I think that's pointed or hinted at with God, and that's why like we can't name God. Maybe not just about like taking his name in vain, but like he's unnameable. You know. Points at it. Points at it. It's hard to look at. It's uncomfortable to look at. Is that what the brightness, like his brightness exceeds the brightness of the sun? I don't know. But it is uncomfortable to look. Like contemplate and ponder to look at the I am thing. It's a little uncomfortable. Is that just because I'm autistic and I don't like to be looked at? I don't know. Isn't it interesting that a whole generation of like many humans grew up with the idea that they were always being watched, no matter what you do, where you are. You think you're alone in your bathroom? Nope. You're being watched. And you know what? Some things you do alone are sins, and God's really hating that. But not only that, just being watched all the time and judged for what you're doing, the constant surveillance state. And can you imagine what happens to that generation once they think that God is dead? God's not real. And they just go bananas. Because God isn't like that. Like, you perverted God. You made God weird because you just didn't understand, and you just said stuff that your parents said. You just said it, and like, see how it gets perverted as it goes. Like, it's a fresh and living thing. It's a new thing. You gotta like always be like refreshing on it, like the God stuff, the Jesus stuff. Love. I think that's act in love. It's like obvious, you know. Just read the Bible, kind of. Just read the Bible. It's in the KJV version. I don't even know what the other ones do. They do weird stuff. They put weird stuff. I've seen some stuff on those. I don't like that. Just do the original. It's not that hard. I mean, maybe it's being nitpicky. I don't know. But the KJV is the best. It just reads the best. Has like I feel like most clear message, and also feels the most like true to form. I don't know, true to the original, but how would I know? Because I don't read Greek or Hebrew. I don't know. I don't know why I think that, but feels right. Also, keeping the language going might help anchor us and also help us remember how they used to think in the past, because the new versions definitely are different. They have a different feel for what Jesus is and what Jesus said. So if we keep this to the same text, it helps anchor us to the past and understanding, like the Hebrews did. This maybe why they became so powerful, is because they are anchored with their text. They don't even use our calendar. They have a different calendar. They use our calendar in business, of course. Do they use their calendar in all their holidays, though, and traditions? So, I don't know. That's interesting. And we're using like the spin-off calendar based off of their thing. It's not interesting. We're not even using their calendar. We're like a spin-off of their group. We have like our own thing now based off their thing. Think they're mad about that? We're pretty powerful. How do we get so powerful? Maybe he was the Messiah. You too prideful to admit that you were wrong? Or are we too prideful? Are we wrong? I don't know. Are we just misled? Tricked? If that's true, we're not going to be very happy about that. But I think the truth will make you free, and I think the truth will bear out over time. And by their fruits you shall know them. The fruits of the kingdom of God are pretty good. It's hard to say.